Alright, Brakda Yahweh, Brakda Yahweh Shai, Brakda Yahweh, Brakda Yahweh Shai, Kal Palau, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostle at Great Mills of Woo sincere citation to the Israelite, to the Akin approaching the truth across the four corners of the earth, to the fear and power of Yahweh Shai Shai, that they hope will elect, and citation to the Israelite foreigner that is scattered among uh, all the nations throughout the four corners of the earth that believe in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and shalom to the sisters and family that are tuning into the doctrine that preach around the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ. I mean, God, his name is Yahweh, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. It was a Hebrew Israelite, which consists of you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, and those who descendants go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, see a picture on the screen. One of the brothers has shared this in the group dealing with Mount Rushmore, what it used to be. This is before the president faces were carved into Mount Rushmore. It was called the Sixth Grandfather, part of the sacred Black Hill of the Lakota tribe, which is in Dakota. That's where North and South Dakota get its name from the Lakota tribe, okay? The U.S. government seized the land illegally in 1877 after gold had been discovered there. President Grant secretly ordered the army not to protect local tribes, as bounty hunters collected up to $300 for each Native American killed. The carving of four presidents into the hill took place in 1920, funded in part by the Ku Klux Klan, which is the KKK. All right, and a lot of scripture came to mind dealing with this. Okay, a lot of scripture. And we're gonna get to those scriptures too. Okay, because so-called Esau Edom have to pay for this. All right, even though the Gadite was going off with, concerning the sixth grandfather, but the part of stealing their land and killing them off, you still have to pay for that, so-called white man. All right, and I found a little article on this. Okay, it's the real history of Mount Rushmore. It's a tourist mecca cut from stone and a sinister illusion of destiny. All right. Um, Probably not gonna read the whole thing, so we're gonna get to some key points. It's there, but the backstory of Mount Rushmore is hardly a rich history of a shared democratic ideal. Some see the monument in the Black Hill as one of the foil of violent conquest over indigenous tribes by a U.S. Army clearing the way for white settlers driven westward by a lust for land and gold. All right, and the indigenous tribes consist of the North American Indians. All right, or the Native American Indians, which are actually Hebrew Israelites. All right, they're one of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is comes from the tribe of Gad. All right, now let's get the scripture. So it's 49 and 19. Okay, so this is one of the with what you call it, Isaac. No, is it Isaac? Jacob. Yes, Jacob, which his name was changed to Israel, right? The prayer to the power, that's Allah. Alright, he was telling all his sons with the 12 tribes of Israel what could happen in the last days. Alright, it was in the last days since the Yahushua doing the thing. Okay, now we're in the latter of the last days. And concerning Gad, which is the North American Indians or the Native Americans, verse 19 of 49, Genesis 49 and 19, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Okay, so you had all these throughout history, the Conquistador, the cavalry, the U.S. Army, destroying, killing, and stealing land from the Gadites. All right, which is the so-called Native Americans. Okay, instead, that I was concerned about the U.S. Army taking over. All right. And then it said clearing the way for white settlers driven westward by a lust for land and gold. Okay, and there's scriptures on that. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands, those the so-called white men. All right, the power that be carrying out the evil plan that they got going. So that's the point. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what they did, okay? Because this was their land, and then that mountain, Black Hill, were sacred to them, okay? But what they do, they took that away, and then they oppressed the Gadites, all right? Put them on reservations and stuff, okay? And that's what they did. All right, because what the so-called white man, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's where he is. All right, it's told in Revelation chapter 6 that the red horse and power given unto him to take peace away from the earth, and he's been doing just that. All right, Job 9 and 24. All right, it's the let me get another scripture. Nathan. Right, first, let me get Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 19. And Deuteronomy 19 and 14, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old times have set in thy inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord, the Habashah outside thy power, giveth thee to possess it. All right? And Brother Barak last week has brought out this scripture, trying to remember it. Enlarge his borders. Since I can remember that. That's concerning Gad, because they came over here and receive more land. Okay. It might be it. If it's the wrong scripture after I upload it, I'll put the correct scripture in the description box, okay? So I'm pretty sure it's one of these. Deuteronomy 19:8, and if the Lord thy Yahweh shall thy power and large thy coast, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers. Okay, so that might be it. It's not, I'll correct it. Okay, so this is thinking that. So this land was given to Gad. Okay, and then you had during the time the northern kingdom went up, taken away by the king of Assyria, they ended up coming over here. Okay, I'll tell you that in the Apocrypha. All right, this is okay. What is that? Just what same chapter is this? Deuteronomy 19 and 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor landmark, but they of old time hath set in thy inheritance, but thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord, the Yahweh shall shine. Thy power giveth thee to possess it. Probably read that already. Yeah, read that already. Okay. Proverbs 22. And Esau, even the so-called white men, are neighbors. All right. They are a brother, but they are a wicked brother. And since they wanted to pick up the Bible and try to follow it, they're now held accountable to that. Okay. You got Job, like Proverbs 22, 28. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy father hath set. Alright, straight to the point. And one more concerning the land. Job 24 and 2. Some remove the landmark, they violently take away flock and feed thereof. Okay, Esau had done that to the Gadite inheriting this land. All to get gold. Okay, they tell you that they thieved the land illegally. Okay, they took this land by deceit. All right, it's Nahum 3. That's the wrong book. What's this? 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Alright? It is the bloody city. America is full of blood. It is full of lies and robbery. And you see how they took this land through what they call manifest destiny. Alright? Which will tell you here in this article. It said, as it was in colonial America, the young country expansion was fueled by manifest destiny, a thought-supreme notion that any land coveted by European was, by providence, rightfully there for the taking. All right, let me tell you that. And the Drought 10 and 18. All right. No, we read that in Micah 2. All right. And they covered fields. And that's what they exactly did through the so-called manifest destiny. Alright? That's the Rock 10. Is it the Rock 10? No, it's verse 8. Yeah, Rock 10 and 8. It said, because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit. And that's what Esau had done. The riches had got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So we read in Genesis 49:19 how Gad a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So all the things that was taken and stolen from us, it could be given back to us. All right, translated, it's going to be a transfer of power and a transfer of riches and wealth. Okay, back to the article. It's the president on Mount Rushmore reside in favor of historical position. Of course, their contributions to building America are amply documented and widely revered, even by young school children. Yeah, the so-called good side, which is lies. All right, and I could tell you the dark side and the thing that they were really known for. Okay, was about to make a mention of it. But the four also stations in themselves practice dominant over those with darker skin. All right, because of the curses, man, we fell off, and he said he got to step over uh, the other nation over us, man. They set up the bait the men over us, which the bait the men are the so-called white people, Esau, Edom. All right, and through the curses, the Deuteronomy 28 and 15 on down, we went into slavery for not following the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, over those with darker skin. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. Abraham Lincoln famously emancipated slaves. What is it doing now? Let's reload. Okay, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. Abraham Lincoln famously emancipated slaves, but he deported, eradicated Indian tribes from Western land and approved America's largest ever mass execution. See, it's all spoken of in the scriptures. All right, the hanging of 38 Dakota in Mankato for their alleged crime in the 1862 war along the Minnesota River. Teddy Roosevelt in his The Winning of the West wrote, I don't go so far as to think that the only good Indians are dead Indians, but I believe 9 out of every 10 are. It said the Black Hill history, the Black Hill story has many beginnings, but it was the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 that opened westward settlement that would steal the fate of plain tribe Indian tribe, including Minnesota, Dakota, all right, with the Great Plains, the Midwest, all right. It said President Jefferson bent on territorial enlargement to advance his vision of Arganian Empire cut a quick deal with Napoleon, who urgently needed cash to support France's war against England and others. The U.S. acquired claims to territory occupied by endangered peoples, 600,000 by some estimates who were unaware that the familiar thought under their feet had passed from French to U.S. control. All right, unrighteous dealings. All right, which we just read in Deuteronomy 10 and 8. All right, and that's what Esau does, right? Grievous law. Okay. Can't think of any other scripture at the moment. But if you want to read the rest, you can check it out. Just wanted to go into this briefly. How Esau stole his land, all right? And how scripture back it up, all right? So hopefully this